Now here's your shopping list, right? This is what keeps you from buying dog food because it's on sale, but you forget that you don't have a dog.
Right.
Right.
Or being talked into some bloated feature CRM thing because the
Right.
salesperson talked it up and you're like, oh, I might need that someday. Well,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
maybe, but also the measure by which they're charging you for is harmful to you.
Yeah. So you start rank ordering this, right? I need website integration. I need email marketing. I need pipeline creation. We didn't even talk about like e-commerce in here.
It's time for another episode of the Cold Star Project, the podcast about the unexpected challenges of scaling businesses. And my guest today is Wes Schaeffer, the sales whisperer, also a CRM expert. And I wanted him back on because if you've been following lately, the fact that businesses are not documenting very well, they're not gathering data very well, has been coming up over and over again. I had a discussion for my business with a guy who I know runs a good business and it makes him money, and he's had it for like 11 years. And I said, for our data science side of the business, hey, just hand me over your data and we'll go through it and pull out some insights, and be able to get you some information about what to market with what other product and that. And he kind of backed off, and I'm like, he doesn't really have anything. He's not documenting well enough. And this is rampant out there. I did a quick little personal podcast about Paul Harrell video on the Newhall shooting and then the Miami-Dade, which I shared with Wes here. And that demonstrated the power of documenting, good documentation. If you don't document well, you're not going to learn anything, and your business isn't going to learn anything. And that's going to be a real problem, because the story of what happened will change over time, and the insights you thought you got will become meaningless. So I know from being around Wes here for years that he has a system for helping people document their process of how they bring in prospective customers, warm them up, and then convert them into being customers. You really need to do this before you buy a CRM. Right. And Wes, the last time you were on, we answered the age-old question, what CRM should I get? And the answer, of course, was it depends. And folks ought to go watch that. So thanks for being here again, Wes. Let's bring you on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Yeah, people say, what CRM should I buy? It's like asking me what car should I buy. I don't know. Tell me a little more about your situation. So I wish there was a one size fits all, but there's not. So
right.
You gotta go through some a little bit of planning, and to a large degree, what I tell people, the best CRM is the one that you're going to use.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Whichever one you actually use is the best. But we can help refine that a little bit.
Okay, well, let's get into that, because I know you have got a downloadable thing. Give us the URL for that again, thesaleswhisperer.com/
Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, there's two things. So There is the free CRM quiz, which is just bestcrmforme.com.
Okay.
That'll walk people through 26 questions that they can take, and it'll rank order 6 or 7 different CRMs based on their answers. It does it by your answer, but you can also sort by price, so you can figure out which one's right for you. And then for my website, for the process before login, and that's just thesaleswhisperer.com/PBL. So the initials, process before login. And so that gives you, I've got a short video and a PDF, we can show today.
Sure.
On some examples of just how to think, how to plan, to go through this. And I get it. Sometimes it's hard sitting there, documenting things, thinking through, because we're all just so busy, right? We're just going. And if you've been in business for any amount of time, there's probably 37 things that you do every time you talk to somebody, and you just do it naturally, right? And that's why you see usually the greatest coaches in any sport, they weren't a player, or they weren't a great player. right? Like LeBron James will probably never be a coach.
Hmm.
You know, Michael Jordan tried to coach and tried to be a player coach, and that, you know, that wasn't great. Because when you have somebody like Michael Jordan, he's just so good, and it just comes to him. So, you know, he worked hard, right? But he had such natural gifts. He's like, I don't know, man. I get the ball, I see 5 people, I dribble around them, I jump over their heads, and I slam dunk it, and I break their souls. You know, it's like, well, if I'm Danny Ainge, you know, I'm slower, shorter. I got to have perfect form to have a shot at this. You know, so having somebody from the outside looking in say, okay, let's go through some steps, you know, and I'll help you understand this. Once you start to break it down, it gets a lot easier. It starts to make sense. Then you actually get excited about these things, because if you can measure something, you can improve it. And deep down in your business, maybe not even deep down, we all have things that we don't want to look at. Maybe it's our PPC campaigns, maybe it's our SEO, maybe it's you know, our the amount of time we spend creating proposals, whatever. We just like, we know it could be better, but things are okay, so we just kind of let things go until it's an emergency. And it's like, don't do that. Let's, you know, let's look ahead a little bit. Let's plan a little bit, and make things better by having systems. Okay. Henry Ford is a household name, not because he invented the car, because he invented a better way to build a car. Okay. And let's do the same thing with your business.
Fantastic. Don't let things go until they become an emergency. Yeah. That's a big takeaway. If it's a little bit uncomfortable, you should probably do something about it and set some time aside.
You know, men, like we're terrible. Right? I got this pain in my elbow, my back. That's all right. Just take some ibuprofen, you know. And then finally, it's like, good grief, you know, you got a torn rotator cuff. When'd you do that? 87, I guess. Like, come on, man. Like, get this checked out, right? Let's get your business checked out and fix whatever's wrong and improve it.
So you may have to fight your mentality here in order to do this. You may have to take a deliberate stand for improvement.
Yeah. I mean, and that's really all of business. When you see somebody that's excelling in something, they got tired of being sick and tired at whatever step in their business. You know, appointment no-shows. A friend of mine I do jiu-jitsu with, she is an esthetician, right? Facials and whatnot and eyebrows and all that.
Yeah.
And I saw her not too long ago, she posted, okay, there's now a non-refundable deposit when you book with me. I'm tired of people no-showing. Okay. So, but when you're new, you're like, oh, I can't charge an appointment fee. You know, I'm trying to start my business. After you get jerked around enough, you're like, anybody can charge that appointment fee. You just got to be willing to, right? You got to have that internal confidence that it's the right thing to do. So just get tired of being sick and tired, and this stuff's going to help you.
Good deal. Yeah, we tend to get what we put up with, so stop putting up with it. Okay, so let's say I were to go to thesaleswhisperer.com/PBL and sign up, watch video, sign up, download, get the PDF, and I'm looking right at it on my other screen over here. And it's big and it's bright, and there's 3 systems: automate, integrate, dominate, you know. And then on page 2, there's kind of a flow chart thingy, and then a fill in the blanks version of that example. And even though I'm a process engineer, I've trained in it, right? And I've done it for 20 years. This still was like, holy crap, this is in your face and a lot of it and whatnot. So I wanted to go through this with you and have you give your take on it as the creator of it.
Right.
To kind of get people used to the idea. Like what I got out of this was, hey man, there's some structure you could have here if you want it, about thinking about this thing. And for somebody who's heard, hey, you should document your process before you go out and buy CRM so that you can match up the right technology, the right software with your situation. This is great. And so let's kind of ease them into, yes, this is for you.
Yeah, so this is literally like going grocery shopping with a checklist, right? Shopping list, and not going shopping when you're hungry and hungover. All right, and that's how most people go. I talked with this one guy, a friend of mine that's a really high tech guy, super smart, and he's dealing with a company that has evaluated 6 CRMs in the last 12 months.
Hmm.
And this is a bigger company, right? This isn't like a solopreneur, speaker working alone with a VA, right? This is a company testing 6 different CRMs. Like, good grief! So they're just running around Costco, eating all the samples, throwing everything in the basket, and then going home and figuring out, what did I just buy? And like, oh, by the way, I got my daughter's, there's no gluten, no blah, blah, blah. And half of everything I bought has gluten. So I got to go back to the store, or I can't feed my daughter, So it's like, come on, man, you got to plan this stuff out a little bit. So do we want to share screens?
Yeah. Go ahead. You might have to ask for permission there.
All right. Let me share screens. I will click on that one, and we will show everybody.
It's letting you do it.
So so at first glance, it's like, holy smokes, this is crazy. But we're going to walk through this, and it'll make sense. Okay. And this came about, so years ago, and I have this in my Infusionsoft book. This is a client of mine, Chad Kuzner, that does credit repair. And he kind of did the same thing. He's like, okay, I got the software. Now what do we do? I'm like, it depends. Where's the pain? Right? So we get to talking, and I'm like, how do you generate leads? And he says, I get web leads like you see here. Some just call in. I get referrals. I'm like, okay, what happens when they come in? Well, and again, this is for credit repair. At some point, we begin the form, and if it's incomplete, it's got to be suspended for non-response. It's tagged as missing information. Once all the information is done, now they're a new enrollee. Okay, so he just went to a whiteboard and started looking at things. Like, okay, well, what can happen? Well, somewhere along here, it's incomplete. They're tagged as potential. They're tagged as missing. You can have multiple tags on a prospect, right? Let's give them a call. Let's do a free review. Okay, well, boom. Maybe they withdraw their application, right? We all abandon carts sometimes. We're looking at Amazon, and you want to buy that. Oh, you know what? Never. I'm going to hold off on that. I found a better deal at the local store. Whatever. That history needs to be saved, because even though you didn't complete that purchase on the new Captain Marvel DVD, Captain America, right? Well, now I know that you like Marvel comics. I know you like action. I know you like superhero type movies. So Amazon's storing that info on us. Okay. You can do the same thing with your system by tagging them, adding them to a list, different types of things. That's why I call it process before login. I ask people, what is your current and your ideal process for anything? And you got to start somewhere, right? So I'll ask people, I'm like, hey, do you do trade shows? Do you do webinars, whatever? Because once you build out one of these for one process, you can apply it to the others with minimum modifications. Okay. They're like, yeah, we do trade shows. Okay. Like, how far in advance do you know you're going to do the show? All right. Like, well, we have regular shows that we attend every year, blah, blah, blah. Okay. How far in advance would you like to start promoting your attendance at that trade show? They're like, okay, 2 months. Okay. So 60 days prior, what do you want to have happen? Well, we're going to email our list. See us, in Vegas, whatever, booth number 21. Okay, fine. So you're going to email your list. When? Right? So we're obviously 60 days prior, 45, 30, 15, 10, 5, 3, 2, 1, today. Okay, fine. So build that out. What else are you going to do? Well, maybe we're going to do a drawing, some type of promo. All right, so we're going to need a web form on the website, and then we're going to need a welcome sequence. So, email. So immediately, so we're going to confirm that they're registered. Maybe you do, an affiliate / referral email, right? Hey, refer your friends and win an extra ticket or whatever, right? So you start mapping this stuff out. What do you want to have happen? Maybe on that web form, you ask for their cell phone. Okay, so do you call, right? Or maybe you assign a task to call to your team. Maybe you just use a system to text them automatically. And I don't know, maybe do a voice broadcast. So you just got to think through this. What are you going to have happen to engage with these people? And what's my incentive for giving you my cell phone? Mm-hmm. There better be a sweetener in there. Okay. So again, you start thinking through, all right, 60 days prior, we're going to email our list. We're going to have, I need a web form ready to go on our website, because I'm going to email the list, say, hey, see us at the booth. By the way, go download or get on our early bird mailing list, because we're going to be announcing our new, Gizmo 2200 Model Z. You can be the first to be notified, or you can be on the buying list. You get first dibs on this when it's released. Okay, so you think through, how do I want to promote this? And so now when you look at this, you go, all right, so that's for doing a trade show. And then you're gonna do that all the way up to the show, and then you're gonna do it after the show. Right? So let's say we go back here. So after the show, so day 0, here's a recap, right? So email blast going out with pictures. Maybe it's a link to your website with pictures, testimonials, videos, showing all these happy people, showing who won the prize, right, from the fishbowl. So all this excitement. So you just keep going, right? Day 1, email with offer. So just start mapping this out. What are you going to send? Now you're also, now maybe this is for non-attendees, right? But you're also going to have a sequence for attendees. And it's going to be very similar. Thank you for visiting our booth. So now, and you just start thinking through all that. Also on day 0, assign to team 4 calls. So I'm assigning it to the team. Hey, Jason, it's Wes over the Sales Whisperer. Thanks for stopping by our booth in Vegas. Did you make it home okay? All right. Hey, what did you like about the visit? What drew you to our booth? What are you working on? We can help you with this quarter. All right. So map that stuff out. Because if you go to trade shows, look, once you create this one time, you're literally going to clone this, change the name from, hey, come see us in Vegas, to come see us in Boston, and run the whole thing again. Okay. So now you do this for a trade show. Look how very similar this would be for a webinar. Now, a webinar, you're probably not going to do 60 days prior. Maybe it's a big one. Maybe it's 30 days prior. Realistically, 10 days is probably enough, right? So you're going to email your list. Dun, dun, dun. See our gizmo on this live webinar. Okay, so now instead of 10 days, so we're going to do it 10. Now we're maybe going to do 7, 5, 3, 2, 1 today. Okay. Look how easy that was. Oh, by the way, we're going to have a drawing. Hey, go register for the webinar at this web form. Same thing. Immediately, you're confirmed. Use this link. Add it to your calendar. By the way, anybody else you want to have come in? By the way, would you like us to send you reminders via text so you don't miss? Would you like to speak to a rep before the call, before the webinar? Check here. Okay, great. I'm going to text. I'm going to assign the task to call. So you see how this is all very similar. So post webinar, you have non-attendees. Here's a recap. Here's what you missed. By the way, here's the offer we made. We'll honor this even though you didn't attend the webinar. We'll honor this for the next 1, 2, 3, 7 days, whatever. Same thing, attendees. Thank you for visiting thank you for attending our webinar. So just start mapping this out, and it can be as simple as a whiteboard, a Word doc in an outline, and you just start building out the steps. Most people, they go to their fridge, 5:30 at night, long day, there's nothing in the fridge. Now you're tired, you're hungry, you're irritated, you got to fight traffic, you go to the store, you're in a bad mood, now you're just throwing crap in the basket. Instead of a $100 grocery bill, you have a $180 grocery bill, and you rebuy things that you already have that were maybe it was in the freezer, maybe it was in the pantry, now you're overbuying, you got to store stuff, it spoils. That's how people do their business. Hey, we want to do a webinar. When? I don't know. Friday? What? Just take a little bit of time, right? Build this out. That's why I say, what's your current and your ideal process? Because most people's current process is shopping at 5:30 on a Thursday night with nothing in it, and that's not good. That's why I say also, what's your ideal? Okay? And on the PDF that you're going to get, when you download it, it looks a little bit crazy. All right, but as you start walking through it, so just like this, the idea here was, I'm going to do a webinar. And I give you some fill in the blanks, right, on this one down here. But hey, I want to have people attend a webinar, just like I said. All right, that's the cause. What's in it for them? Hey, learn to sell better this month. So that's the overriding theme through all of your marketing for this particular event. Whether it's your trade show, webinar, live event, you're bringing people to the office, lunch and learn, whatever. What is the effect? They open my email. And that sounds kind of rudimentary, but it's true. We take all these things for granted. I'm going to have a webinar. I'm going to send an email. People are going to show up. They're going to watch till the end. They're going to buy. It'll be magical. Oh, really? It's like, I don't know. You ever tried going out? You're going clubbing, right? I'm going to go to the bar. I'm going to meet the woman of my dreams. She's going to give me her phone number. We're going to get married. Really? Maybe you should get your hair cut, brush your teeth, get your clothes, pick up your clothes from the dry cleaner, right? Clean your car. Nobody wants to get in a dirty car. Get all the Coke bottles and beer bottles and old McDonald's out of the car and clean it. Put some air freshener in it. Hey, how about this? Learn how to dance. Take dance lessons. All these things have to happen, right, to get that woman's phone number. So what's the effect? They open my email. Because then you got to write the email. So again, this is the ideal route. They open, what's in it for them? Same thing. They click the link to register. Now what happens? They land at the landing page. It's the same, what's in it for them. They register. Don't take this for granted. They got to open the email. They got to read the email. They got to click the link. They got to register for the webinar. They got to add it to their calendar and actually show up for the event, right? Now, but this is a little bit advanced, but if you think about it, it's really not. Most people overlook the value of the thank you page, the value of the upsell. All right. So I'll give your listeners a little peek behind the curtain. When I have a sales related webinar, when people opt in, I take them to a thank you page with a one-time offer to buy something at a deep discount. Usually it's like my sales training flashcards or my book at like 50% off. Well, I'm still making money. Okay. But now I've got a hot prospect. And now I don't have just their name and email. Now I have their phone number, their address, their full name, their credit card info. Okay. So take advantage of a thank you page, because when somebody opts in, even for something free, they bought what you're selling, even if it's for free, right? I'm selling time. I'm selling their attention, and they bought. So I take them to a thank you page with an upsell. And you know what? There's no reason you can't make money before the webinar even happens. Right? So if they buy my flashcards at half off, why not take them to private consulting or something else, right? Test it, because buyers buy. So give them a chance to buy. All right. So they register, boom, they go to the upsell. All right. Ideally, they buy the upsell, boom, they buy the second upsell, whatever. All right. So now we go back down over here. They actually attend the webinar and they share it. Now I send reminders, 7 days, 3 days, blah, 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 an hour before. All right. What are some other considerations? What happens if they don't open my first email? Right? I may love you, but last week I was out of town for 4 days. Next week I'm on vacation with the family. I was responding to emails this past Friday. I was cleaning out some old emails, and I replied to a guy that sent me something in March. Okay. 3 months ago. I didn't try to ignore him. I'm just busy, and I get pitched a lot. And I'm like, dude, this looks good. Let's talk. Okay. So what happens if they don't open the first email? What happens if they open but don't click? What happens if they click but don't register? What happens if they register but they don't attend? Okay. You got to start thinking through this stuff. And I get it. This is overwhelming. This makes you want to cry. This makes you say, you know what? I'm never doing a live event or a webinar ever again. It just ain't worth it. I get it. You got to start somewhere. Do a webinar, pick a date, email your list. You're going to learn from it. After you do the first one, have 2 reminders, have 3 reminders, right? You can build into this, or use people like you and me, right? And we can do this quickly. And then, because once this is built, you own it forever. And the process is easy to rinse, wash, and repeat. Okay. So again, alternate number 1 is they don't open, they open, don't click, they click, don't register, they register, they don't attend. Look over here. They attend, but don't buy. So you just got to start thinking through all of these scenarios, and how are you going? Ideally, your system tracks who registers, so you pull them out of the list, because that's not good, right? If somebody registers and you send them 7 more invitations, hey, come to my event, come to my event, come to my event. You're like, dude, now I'm not coming to your event, and I'm unsubscribing from your list because you're a pain in my butt. All right, so you need to pull them out. And that's really how Infusionsoft came to be. They tell the story. It was a Friday afternoon. They just ordered pizza. They were all bumming. They were a little software developing company. They weren't doing well. And this guy calls and says, I have pain. They're like, what? They're like, call 911, dude. We're software coders. We're geeks. He's like, no, I've got this real estate investing program, and I emailed my entire list, including customers, with like a 30% off coupon. So his current customers called mad, either wanting to cancel or wanting at least that refund to match what he was offering. So he lost thousands of dollars because he couldn't segment his list. Okay. And I always ask this question, and it's not a trick question. When I ask people in my trainings, how does Google make money? And people are like, ads, yeah, deeper. And when you really look at it, they make money by delivering relevant content at the moment of relevance. Okay? If I do a Google search for Captain America, right, I'm not shown ads for an office desk or cookbooks, okay, unless there's a Captain America cookbook. I'm going to be shown ads for other Marvel. Maybe the competition will bid on that, right? So I do a search for Ford. I'm going to probably see Chevy ads, Toyota ads, because they're going to target that keyword. But I'm probably not going to be shown ads for motorcycles or boats, So Google shows relevant ads at the moment of relevance. You need to have a system that has your team, your company, sending and communicating relevant information at the moment of relevance. Okay, and once you start to think about this, you're like, okay, what is relevant to someone that registers to attend a webinar? I'm doing a webinar on fix your follow-up failure. What's relevant to them? And I am doing a webinar on fix your follow-up failure. So maybe I send them to my quiz, take the CRM quiz, right? Maybe I send them a bonus, PDF, different tools, because I can see who, if somebody registers and gets like 3, 4, 5 things, or they're visiting 7 of my web pages before the event, I can score them and bubble them up. Maybe I even call them ahead of time, right? Because I'm only going to have a few that are that interested. But how powerful would that be, right? You register for a webinar a week from now, and I see that you're consuming all my content. And, I send this to 5,000 people, and, 100 register, but 7 of you are like fanatics. I can call 7 people. I can call 7 people in an hour and have meaningful conversations, okay? Maybe 2 hours. Is it worth it? Yeah. So that's what all this means, right? All this process before login. That's the ultimate goal. It's in a lot of detail, but again, if you peel this back, it's really not that hard. It's just taking the time to think through all the steps, and it will make a difference.
Right, and this is the same as that list that you made in the notepad of what to do, about the trade show or
Exactly.
webinar. It's just presented in a slightly different way, but it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Same thing. And the beauty of this is once you've done it once, like you say, you can copy and paste it into another document, change the name, the date, even the topic slightly, and assign it to another person even. And because
Exactly.
you've given them the structure, they're able to adapt that to the new situation that process is being applied to. So
Right.
Yes, you do have to invest a little bit of time and energy up front in order to document your processes like this. But the power of it is you're going to save a lot of time and energy and hassle on the back end, because you don't have to redo all this again and again and again and again.
Right.
It's there. So, okay, let's assume that folks have written this stuff down. They've documented their ideal process, what they would like to actually happen. What do they do next? How do they turn that into which CRM should I get?
Well, now you know what features you need. Okay. Do I need the web form capability? Do I need email marketing capability? Do I need referral and affiliate tracking? Do I need to be able to send SMS messages from the system? Do I need to be able to do a voice broadcast from a system? Okay, how many users do I need? If I'm assigning tasks to my team, how big is my team? Do you charge by user? Or do you charge by contact list? Do you charge by emails? Okay, so, because there's a big difference between a platform like HubSpot does not charge per user, okay, for their marketing side. For the Sales Hub, they do. So Infusionsoft and Ontraport, they have some unlimited email options, but they charge per user. Okay, so and you got to start looking at those kind of configurations. Because one company I work with, they have managed partners, right? Resellers that are not employees, but they give access to the platform. Well, they have 200 of those and they're growing. Well, that was a no-brainer for HubSpot, because even though it was more expensive up front, when you add 200 users and you charge 19 or 30 or whatever, $50 per user on another platform, it's like, oh, wow. Even though HubSpot charges more for the emails and the contacts, because they had so many users, it made sense to go with HubSpot. Conversely, you only have 5 users, but you want to send an email to 10,000 people every single day, you're going to have to look at one of the unlimited email platforms. Okay, so, but then you start looking at, well, who does SMS? Who does direct mail? Maybe you want to send postcards and letters. So you got to write all this out. Now here's your shopping list, right? This is what keeps you from buying, dog food because it's on sale, but you forget that, you don't have a dog.
Right.
Right.
Or being talked into some bloated feature CRM thing because the salesperson talked it up and you're like, oh, I might need that someday. Well,
right.
Yeah, maybe, but also the measure by which they're charging you for is harmful to you.
Yeah, so you start rank ordering this, right? I need website integration, I need email marketing, I need pipeline creation. We didn't even talk about like e-commerce in here, right? Because some maybe, post show, so we're talking about attendees and non-attendees. Well, you also have, buyers and non-buyers, right? So maybe you sell something right at the trade show, or you sell something right on the webinar. Okay. What happens? So you need e-commerce. Great. How do you need just simple products? You need subscriptions. You need PayPal integration. So you gotta write this stuff out. And again, it's hard if you've never done it. That's why people like you and me exist, right? Retain us. I can come up with more scenarios in 30 minutes than an entrepreneur has never done this, and they can think up in 30 days or 30 weeks even.
Right, because we've seen stuff.
We've seen it. I've just done it forever.
Yeah.
Just like my buddy, my neighbor, I don't build stuff, right? He comes in, he installed my 220 outlet for our power, he's built our doggy door, it had taken me 37 trips to Lowe's and 12 hours of YouTube video, and probably sending my family away on vacation for a weekend because I'm so damn mad because I'm breaking stuff. Dave's like, literally under an hour, done. So, you're paying for efficiency, you're paying for experience, you're paying not to make the mistakes that you and I have had to make over all these years. You learn by doing, trial by fire. So we've done all that.
Right. Awesome. Well, let's finish up. The lawnmowers have arrived at my place, and they're starting to ride around the house like it's the Road Warrior or something like that.
I got to go to jiu-jitsu, man. Get awesome. This anger issue out of me. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome. Well, when I think of Wes Schaeffer, I think of anger. Anger against people who don't document their processes. All right. Well, that was awesome, Wes. Thank you very much for giving these very clear examples of how to do this, including a live one. If you listen to this, just know that you can go to the YouTube channel and watch it visually, although I think the audio version is going to teach you something as well. Just by listening. So those 2 links again, Wes, where people can connect with you about this stuff?
Yes. So thesaleswhisperer.com/PBL. That stands for process before login. And from there, you'll see like in the footer and all over the place where you can take the free quiz, but the quiz is bestcrmforme.com.
Great. Thanks a lot, Wes, for being here. This is Jason Canigan from Cold Star Technologies. Thanks for watching and listening.